observing, listening, and breathing with consciousness. These are the core fundamental practices of inner technology. And of course, they are ancient and eternal forms of awareness that we often take for granted. Each in their own right produce the fruits of wisdom. The simple acts of observing, listening, and breathing are deeply scientific and deeply metaphysical. They are, of course, the gateway actions to our greatest ability. They have the capacity to energize, to pacify, to heal, to enlighten, and even the capacity to stop time itself. These are the soft, subtle mechanisms that will lead us to a place that is beyond suffering. Pranayama allows us to become the masters of these actions and to fuse the healing properties of conscious breathing into all the bodily systems. I break down pranayama into 4 key areas that each address an aspect of conscious breathing. Of course, there's only 3 things that you could do with your breath. You can inhale, you can exhale, and you can retain your breath. But different combinations of those 3 actions create a whole slew of different effects and influences upon the body and the mind and spirit, for that matter. First, we have even breathing. In Sanskrit, this is called samiviti. Even breathing, which is basically the balance of the inhale, the retention, and the exhale, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which of course is the side of our nervous system that calms us down. It also allows and triggers our brain to produce melatonin at night and serotonin during the day, which is what we want. And this, of course, is when your exhale is longer than your inhale. This stimulates the very powerful and under-recognized nerve called the vagus nerve, which literally connects the mind with the heart. And it runs from about the midbrain right down to the end of the sternum. The vagus nerve is crucial for interpreting the sensory data that creates our emotions in our brain. And of course, it connects those emotions with the physical heart. Extended exhale also, of course, releases carbon dioxide and toxins from the system. It pressurizes prana, or life force, so that prana can manifest in our cells, in our cellular body. The next action is breath retention after an inhale. Okay, so we have breath retention after an exhale, and then breath retention after an inhale, which are 2 different things. This directly reduces stress and it increases lung capacity and lung elasticity, which gives us, of course, more room to breathe in oxygen, greater amounts of oxygen. And by retaining the breath after an inhale, we create an anti-inflammatory effect on the cell. And finally, retaining the breath after an exhale is a little bit more difficult, and we're able to manage that probably for a little bit of a less amount of time. But the effects of this are tremendous. It activates neurotransmitters in the brain, which are like signals to each one of our cells, and it oxygenates the blood. It also strengthens the back alveoli of our lungs and the lower portion of our lungs, which is the part of our lungs that's most likely to be infected by a virus or pneumonia. When we hold certain postures or make certain sounds, those postures and sounds create patterns, and those patterns are reflected in every molecule of our body. Kriya Yoga is an ancient Vedic science that specifically uses sounds, motions, and postures in various patterns to address various imbalances within the body and within the being. Simple mantra is a form of medicine. It can have the effect of putting a smile on your face for the next 3 hours. And all it is aligning you with a certain vibration in the universe. This goes with different postures and motions as well. Pranayama and Kriya Yoga create the basis of our breathing exercises in inner technology. All, of course, trying to get there to that place of a super being human. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Inner Technology.